Welcome back to the Ultimate GED Math Guide. In Part 3, we're switching gears to geometry. Forget about memorizing dozens of formulas. I'm going to show you why the formula sheet provided during a test is your secret weapon for conquering these questions. Let's go. A rectangle has a perimeter of 30 inches and a width of 6 inches. What is the length, in inches, of the rectangle? To pass the GED math test, you need to be familiar with how to find the side lengths of triangles, rectangles, and other polygons when given the area or perimeter. From the question, we are told that a rectangle has a perimeter of 30 inches, and the width is 6 inches. Let's get our GED formula sheet, which will be provided on the test. Since we are relating perimeter of a rectangle to length and width, we look for the formula that has those values. The formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times length plus 2 times width. Let's write the formula here. Since we already know the perimeter and width, we can substitute those into the formula. So we have 30 equals 2 times length plus 2 times 6. From here, you can use the calculator trick we learned in our algebra guide to solve it, if you don't want to solve the algebra. We are looking for the value in our multiple choice that will give us 30. We found it to be 9 inches. For this question, it's easy to just solve it. 2 times 6 is 12. Subtract 12 from both sides. The 12 will cancel out. 30 minus 12 is 18. Then we will divide both sides by 2. The 2 will cancel out. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So the correct answer is option C, 9 inches. At a frozen yogurt shop, there are 7 different toppings available. Customers can choose 2 different toppings to add to their yogurt. How many different topping combinations are possible? Knowing how to use counting techniques to solve math problems is an important skill you'll need to pass the GED math test. For this question, we have 7 different toppings. Let's represent them by A to G. We are supposed to choose 2 different toppings. For the first topping, we will have 7 to choose from. Let's say we chose A. Then for the second topping, we will have 6 different toppings to choose from. Let's say now we chose B. To find the number of toppings, we will multiply the 7 by the 6. This will give us 42. This is known as permutation. In permutation, order matters. So if I pick toppings A first, then I pick toppings B, it is different from if I pick toppings B first, then I pick toppings A. However, the question tells us that this is a combination. In combination, the order does not matter. So if I pick toppings A first, then I pick toppings B, it is the same as picking toppings B first, then picking toppings A. In permutation, we counted AB as one and BA as another. Since in combination, AB and BA are the same, we want to remove the double counting. We do this by dividing the permutation value, which is 42, by 2. This will give us 21. The correct answer is therefore option B. There are 21 different combinations of 2 toppings customers can choose. This is another question you can easily solve with the calculator. Your only work will be to determine if the question is permutation or combination. Here, we are told that it is combination. Since 7 is the total number of toppings available, we will click 7. Then we will press the probability key on the calculator. Next, we have to select if it's permutation or combination. 1 is for permutation and 2 is for combination. So we will press 2. Then finally, we will input 2 for the choice of 2 toppings. We now have 7 combination 2. We press enter to get an answer, and we are done. We got our answer as 21 as expected. Archer leans a ladder against a vertical wall so that the top of the ladder touches the wall 12 feet above the ground. The base of the ladder is 9 feet from the wall. What is the length of the ladder? To pass the GED math test, it's important to understand how to use the Pythagorean theorem to find a missing side length in a right triangle. We're given a triangle formed by a ladder leaning against a wall. The top of the ladder touches the wall 12 feet above the ground, and the base of the ladder is 9 feet away from the wall. However, we're missing one side of the triangle, the length of the ladder. So we need to find it. To do that, we use the Pythagorean theorem, which applies to right triangles. A right triangle is a triangle with a 90-degree angle, shown by the small box in the corner. Here's the formula. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. In our case, the vertical side, how high the ladder reaches, is 12 feet. That's side B. The horizontal side, distance from the wall to the base of the ladder, is 9 feet. That's side A. The ladder is the hypotenuse. We'll call that side C, which we're trying to find. The hypotenuse is always opposite to the box. Now let's replace A with 9 and B with 12. 9 squared is 9 times 9, which is 81. 12 squared is 12 times 12, which is 144. Let's add. 81 plus 144 is 225. So we have 225 equals c squared. Next, we solve for c. We need to take the square root of both sides. This will cancel out, leaving us with c. The square root of 225 is 15. That's the missing side. So the length of the ladder is 15. Therefore, the correct answer is option C, 15. The line graph shows the monthly electricity usage in kilowatt hours for a small business from January to July. In which month did the electricity usage increase the most compared to the previous month? To pass the GED Math test, you need to know how to read, construct, and explain data using bar graphs, circle graphs, dot plots, histograms, box plots, tables, scatter plots, and line graphs. The key skill here is being able to accurately estimate values by reading the line graph. Since the question wants us to find the month the electricity usage increased the most compared to the previous month, we are going to look at only the section that the graph increases. The line only increased from February to March, and also from April to May. It was decreasing for the rest of the month. Just by eyeballing, we can see that the line from February to March is greater than the line from April to May. This means February to March had a bigger increase. Now let's focus on how the question is worded. In which month did the usage increase the most compared to the previous month? This means we're being asked, which month had the largest increase over the month before it? That increase happened in March, where the usage rose the highest from the previous month, February. Therefore, the correct answer is option B, March. We could have also calculated it. Again, we are only concerned about when there was an increase. From the graph, the electricity usage is approximately February, 45 kilowatt hours. March, 71 kilowatt hours. April, 67 kilowatt hours. May, 78 kilowatt hours. Next, to figure out which month had the biggest increase in electricity usage, we compare each month to the one before it, using this formula, current month minus previous month. This tells us how much the usage increased or decreased from month to month. From the graph, March compared to February, we do 71 minus 45, which gives us plus 26. That means there was an increase of 26 kilowatt hours. This is the largest increase. May compared to April, we do 78 minus 67, which gives us plus 11. That means there was an increase of 11 kilowatt hours, smaller than the one in March. From this breakdown, we can see that the biggest increase happened in March, where the usage rose from 45 kilowatt hours in February to 71 kilowatt hours in March, a difference of plus 26 kilowatt hours. Therefore, the correct answer is option B, as we expected. Lee is designing a round clock face with a diameter of 6.2 inches. To the nearest tenth of an inch, what is the circumference of the clock face? Use pi equals 3.14. Knowing how to find the area and circumference of a circle, as well as how to find the radius or diameter when given the circumference, is an important skill for passing the GED math test. To solve it, let's first picture the situation with a diagram to make it easier to understand. This is our round clock, and the line across the clock shows the diameter, which is 6.2 inches long. We are asked to find the circumference, that's the total distance around the outer edge of the round clock. Since the diameter is given, we will use the formula circumference equals pi times diameter. The formula will be given on the GED formula sheet. We are told to use pi as 3.14, and the diameter is 6.2 inches. We substitute the values into the formula. Now we multiply. 3.14 times 6.2. This is 19.468 inches. We are asked to round to the nearest tenth, which is the first digit after the decimal point. Looking at 19.468, the tenth place is 4. To decide whether to round up or stay the same, we check the next digit, the hundredths place. The number in the hundredths place is 6. Since 6 is greater than 5, we round the number in the tenths place up by 1. That means the 4 becomes 5. So the rounded circumference is 19.5 inches. Therefore, the correct answer is option B, 19.5 inches. A rectangular plot of land measures 90 feet in length and 70 feet in width. In one corner of the plot, a shed measuring 30 feet by 30 feet is built. The remaining space is used for planting grass. What is the area, in square feet, of the grassy part of the land? To pass the GED math test, you need to know how to find the area and perimeter of two-dimensional shapes, including triangles, rectangles, polygons, and composite figures. We are told that a rectangular plot of land is 90 feet long, so the length is 90. The plot is 70 feet wide, so the width is 70. Let's calculate the total area of the land. To do that, we use the formula for the area of a rectangle, which is length times width. Don't worry about memorizing the formula. It will be provided on the GED formula sheet. We do 90 times 70. This gives us 6,300 square feet. Next, let's find the area of the shed. The shed is a square because it measures 30 feet by 30 feet, meaning all sides are 30 feet long. To find the area of a square, we use the formula. Area equals side times side. We do 30 times 30. This gives us 900 square feet. Now let's find the area of the grassy part of the land. To do that, we subtract the area of the shed from the total area of the land. We do 6,300 minus 900. This gives us 5,400 square feet. So the area used for planting grass is 5,400 square feet. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. A sphere has a radius of 6 centimeters. To the nearest cubic centimeter, what is the volume of the sphere? To pass the GED math test, you need to understand how to find the volume and surface area of three-dimensional shapes, including rectangular and right prisms, cylinders, and right pyramids, as well as how to find missing values like side lengths, radius, or diameter when the volume or surface area is given. To find the volume of a sphere, we use the formula. Volume equals 4 over 3 times pi times r cubed. The formula will be provided on the GED formula sheet. We're told the radius r is 6 centimeters, so we substitute that into the formula. We have v equals 4 over 3 times pi times 6 cubed. Now we calculate 6 cubed, which means 6 times 6 times 6. This gives us 216. So we have v equals 4 over 3 times pi times 216. Next, we simplify using pi is 3.14. Substitute that into the formula. We have v equals 4 over 3 times 3.14 times 216. We calculate 4 over 3 times 3.14 times 216 to get 904.32. We round to the nearest cubic centimeter, which gives us a final volume of 904. Therefore, the correct answer is option D, 904. A delivery company reviewed how many years each of its vans had been in service. The list below shows the number of years for 10 delivery vans: 10.2, 11.5, 10.8, 12.3, 13.1, 11.7, 12.0, 10.5, 12.4, 11.8. What is the median number of years a delivery van had been in service? To pass the GED Math test, you need to be familiar with how to find the mean, median, mode, and range of a number set, as well as how to find a missing value when given the average. The median is the middle number in a set of data when the values are arranged from least to greatest. First, let's arrange the numbers from least to greatest. We have 10.2, 10.5, 10.8, 11.5, 11.7, 11.8, 12.0, 12.3, 12.4, 13.1. Next, we find the middle values. There are 10 values, which is an even number, so there won't be just one number in the middle. Instead, we look at the two numbers in the center of the list. In our case, the fifth and sixth numbers are the middle values, which are 11.7 and 11.8. Since we have two values in the middle, we need to find their average to get the median. To do that, we add the fifth and sixth values and divide the result by 2. We do 11.7 plus 11.8 all divided by 2. 11.7 plus 11.8 is 23.5. So we now have 23.5 over 2. We calculate 23.5 over 2 to get 11.75, and that is the median. Therefore, the correct answer is option A, 11.75. A cylindrical tank has a radius of 5 feet and a height of 10 feet. How many gallons of water can the tank hold? Note, 1 cubic foot equals 7.48 gallons. Pi is 3.14. For this question, we are finding the volume of a cylinder. The formula for finding the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared, h. This formula will be given to you on the GED. We place our values in. Volume equals pi, which is 3.14, times r squared. The radius is 5, so we have 5 squared. Then we have times h. The height is 10, so we have times 10. We work this out on the calculator to get 785 cubic feet. We can see that our answer choices are not in cubic feet, so we have to convert it to gallons. Converting units is one of the most important things on the GED Math. Let's set it up. We write the value we want to convert. In this case, the 785 cubic feet. Then we take the conversion factor. We want to write it in a way that the cubic feet will cancel out. So for this, we will write the 7.48 gallons on top, then divide it by the 1 cubic foot. Since it's dividing, the cubic feet will cancel the cubic foot. We have 785 times 7.48. This is 5,871.8. Rounding it up, we have 5,872. The correct answer is therefore option B. In a factory, the probability that a light bulb is faulty is 1 over 40. If an engineer randomly tests 2 bulbs independently, what is the probability that both bulbs are faulty? To pass the GED Math test, you need to understand how to find the probability of one or more events happening. First, let's break down the question to understand what it's asking. The engineer is testing 2 bulbs independently, and that word is important. When 2 events are independent, it means the outcome of one does not affect the other. In this case, let A represent the first bulb being faulty. Let B represent the second bulb being faulty. Since the events are independent, we can multiply their probabilities. We do probability of A and B equals probability of A times probability of B. We're told the probability that a light bulb is faulty is 1 over 40. So to find the probability that both bulbs are faulty, we do 1 over 40 times 1 over 40. Next, we multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. 40 times 40 is 1,600. So we have 1 over 1,600. This means there's a 1 in 1,600 chance that both bulbs are faulty when tested independently. Therefore, the correct answer is option C, 1 over 1,600. The playlist continues with Part 4, where we dive into the graphs and function skills you'll need to pass the GED. Don't forget you can get the full course and much more at ultimateged.com. It's the best way to lock in what you just learned. Let's go.